Hey everybody, clearing. All right, this is going to be a divine love connection reading. I'm going to go through the usual, what are they thinking, feeling, but it's going to be for both. We're just going to look at what's hidden in the connection. So it doesn't matter if you're the masculine or feminine in this dynamic. We are going to look at the connection space and what everybody needs to know that isn't necessarily obvious at this time. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. What can we see for the collective that joins me here about these sacred connections and how they are unfolding? What did the counterparts need to know about their connections, about each other at this time, about what to manifest, what actions to take, all of that. What is the biggest challenge affecting the connections, the spirit-guided solution for that, and the direction in the near future. Okay, here we go. Conscious mind about the connections. Wow, Wheel of Fortune and Ace of Cups, both in the inverse. So self-love is paramount. It's key here to spin the Wheel of Fortune. What is self-love? It's not ego-based. It is alignment with source. It is alignment with unconditional love. It's alignment with real love. Sometimes these connections take a little while to come in because we've got the wrong idea. And if the connections are allowed to go forward on that false footing, then it doesn't serve anybody involved. And sometimes, when things don't go our way, our true colors come to the surface, or any shadow comes to the surface. Each time these connections go into spaciousness, another layer of subconscious or shadow stuff that we haven't brought love into can come to the surface. It's for some reason I keep seeing a sponge being wrung out of water and then soaking up the next batch of clear water and then being squeezed out. And each time the sponge fills up and is squeezed, it has more and more pure water within it. So our karmic lives are like those dirty sponges, and then through this process we are purified. What is the advice about this? Separation is an illusion. You're in it together. You're going through this process. It is the wheel of fortune. It is the divine cycles within cycles, the temperance process. You're not apart from your person. If you are anchoring in this love, that is your mirror, your divine mirror that has brought you, your development has brought you into alignment with these lessons of love and alignment with source. Through this connection, it's sacred. It's sacred. What can we see for conscious mind about our counterparts? Wow, the sun and the Hierophant. So the sun is enlightenment. It is seeing things fully for what they are. And the High Priest really is about channeling, getting that divine perspective about what we're seeing. So full enlightenment here, if we pay attention to source, if we pray, if we ask for that interpretation, if we ask for the understanding, it's all there for us to see. So this message translates as ask and it is given. Ask to be shown the truth, the complete revelation of this person in your life. Ask divine guidance to show you the love here. That's the key, is ask and it is given. Ask to be shown what that love looks like unfolding in your connection. What is the advice? This is what moves it forward in unison. The two shall become one. We don't lose ourselves in divine relationship, we harmonize. What can we see for how we're meant to be looking at the heart space in these connections? 5 of Wands and the Chariot. So we won't be shown the truth of these connections fully until we actively take ourselves out of things that are no longer a fit. Anything that's past its expiration date. That doesn't mean we have to hurry. It means just be diligent to let go of the things that no longer serve and trust that as we do that, we make room in our life for the things that are aligned. Advice. This is the healing of the heartache. This is how we move from conflict and spreading so thin to streamlining and becoming aligned with our counterpart. Is we have to let go of the things that are in contrast to love. And that permeates, that plays out in people, places, and things. So really letting go of anything that causes drama and conflict and resistance. What is the heart of hearts for each other? The Three of Swords and bravery. So having this inner bravery that this too can be healed. That's what I heard. So you may think, or your counterpart might be thinking at this time, that too much has happened, that this isn't the sort of relationship that can come back from the experiences that have been had. Relationships that aren't meant to last wouldn't come back from the things this connection has seen and lived through. This is saying, take heart. It can have success. You're meant to be looking at the ways that success can come in, what it would require to heal, what you would need to think and feel and believe in order to have peace about this, about the success available here. So you're not meant to determine those things with skepticism. You're meant to go to source and ask to be shown exactly what it would need to be for you for it to be legitimately true. And that therein lies the homework, the manifestation. When you can pinpoint, instead of talking about what hasn't worked or where things are at that is not satisfactory, really earnestly looking at that truth deep within your connection to source. What would it require for repair to come in here? That isn't necessarily something that a human being typically has on tap, able to identify. Go to source, ask for that divine perspective. It just might blow your mind, I heard, if you actually do this. What advice do we get? This brings in the new beginning. You have to see it. You have to believe it to see it. You have to know what it would require. You will know when you identify what that is, because it will be like a breath of fresh air, I just heard. And it will make the difference. You will say, of course, that's what would be required for this to move forward. And there you'll have peace, and that will be your new standard. Okay, what can we see for what we're meant to know regarding the manifestations available? King of Swords in the inverse, which is the not knowing. You don't know what you don't know, so don't spin your wheels. Ask very specific questions. You're not meant to manifest anything other than the remedy for this heartache right now. To know what it would require for you. What would make sense for you to legitimately feel the restoration of full divine love here? I will guarantee that none of us have actually truly ever experienced that. And so have a conversation with connection to source about what that will actually feel like and be like. Go into an open, curious energy and ask source to show you, ask God to show you. The advice here is to know that this fertility, this abundance is on the way. This is how we bring it into the physical, not by our effort, but by divine providence. So we're meant to admit we don't know the answers, that if we had known those answers, we would have brought this into being already. And so it really is about full surrender. Not just full surrender of the fear, but full surrender of control and allowing the divine to inspire you beyond what you have experienced as possible. Fresh, innovative focus, direction coming in from source. What can we see for the action the counterparts are being asked to take? Walking away from anything that is not mutual or reciprocal. This is a continued theme over the last number of years, is not putting ourselves into unequally matched scenarios, not desiring those, not having those things that turn us on, attract us, letting those things not be very interesting, that aren't balanced, that aren't equally matched. If something isn't reciprocating in a harmonic way, don't tell yourself that it's desirable. Seek to balance yourself out and seek things that are harmonic together. The advice here is to let go of the idea that there is any kind of obstacle that is immovable, and instead understand that sometimes it just takes time, but also sometimes it takes a shift of perception. If you keep expecting or accepting breadcrumbs or doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, you won't. That's the definition of insanity. And so it does require that you put the brakes on the patterns that you have tried time and time again that have not resulted in success. It's time to come into an impeccable readiness for mutual connection. What can we see for the biggest challenge here for the collective that joins me here? 3 of Cups, Page of Wands. For some, it's third parties and knowing that there are misalignments going on, whether it is an existing partner that's misaligned, or this connection for some is the karmic connection. Only prayer can tell the difference. Desiring harmony, desiring flow, desiring balance, desiring mutuality and reciprocity, peace. Pray to know for your situation if you're hanging on to something that is not meant for you, or if you need to surrender to allowing this connection to come into flow without feeling like it needs to happen in a certain way at a certain time. What is the advice? Steps in the process. We're all getting our spiritual land legs on, I just heard. And so prayer is paramount here for knowing your situation, knowing what you need to do to be accountable for the steps in the process towards your freedom, towards your full expression of love. What can we see as the solution to this challenge? That inner bravery and walking away from anything that you know no longer serves, that doesn't honor, that is not righteous, that is out of alignment, that isn't integral, that isn't authentic. Clear that out. Walk away from it. Do not keep, I heard bottom feeder energies in your mix. Now that does not mean how others would judge, but you know the resonance of aligned people, places, and things, and when it doesn't feel right, it feels off to you. Let go of the things that feel off to you. You've got this. You've got the bravery. You're getting this green light to really be giving yourself permission to just radically let go of things that are not honoring. What is the advice? This will cut the burden out in your life. We do not have to keep all of these unproductive energies in our close vicinity and be the stronger one, the better one, that egoic version that has to be tough. It is about letting go of the things that really don't need to be there because they aren't actually affirming. What can we see for the direction in the near future? Through this humility and doing literally whatever it takes. So this is a little bit of a tough love sermon here today, because this is saying that all of us have things that we need to just continue to stay the course with releasing in our lives, whether that's emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, connections, people, places, things. Ask for understanding, so that you know that if something really truly isn't honoring, that you don't have to fix it, that you can surrender, you can let it go, you can trust. What is that? If you love something and you set it free, if it returns, it was always yours. And if it doesn't, it was never yours to begin with. Do that with friends, family, everything you're facing right now. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. It's your choice. Only you know what that is. Okay, just sing let it go. But really, Five of Swords for me is taking accountability. Deep within your soul, you know what is honoring, what is righteous, what is true, and what isn't. This is like a radical conviction within. You're not going to settle anymore anywhere in your life. And that's what's bringing in this righteous connection with your true counterpart. All right, many blessings, everyone. Bye for now.